Steve, hello, how are you?
Sid, what's happening?
I'm very well. How are we, lads? Good?
Yeah, we're great. We're great. Where were you when you heard the news and how shocked were you?
I was in a cafe, but
You got a new job? You clearing the tables?
I was in a cafe. I got a WhatsApp message and I couldn't believe it. And I went straight online. I went on to social media. I went on to Twitter and it wasn't even released then. And then within about 2 minutes, it got released and I was shocked. I got to say, I was shocked.
Who texted you?
It was in a WhatsApp group that I'm in. So one of them put it in there and he was obviously in the know before any of us lot.
When you say you were shocked, why were you shocked?
I just didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming this early. I thought there would have been more time, especially after the windows closed. I know there was a really poor performance last night. I watched the game last night. It was poor from all angles. And yeah, I think just the timing of it more than anything.
Sid, talk to me. Obviously, Graham Potter looks like he's the favourite to get that job. Do you think that would be the right appointment? You've played for both clubs, you know Graham Potter. Do you think he'd be the right fit?
Yeah, look, I think with Graham Potter, what you're going to get is you're going to get someone that's very intelligent, a fantastic football coach, someone that improves players. And I'm not just saying that from a football point of view in terms of sessions. You wouldn't watch his sessions and go, wow, that's amazing. Like, he's not, I've trained and played under Arsene Wenger and Mourinho and, you know, his sessions are definitely up there with his, but it's more on a confidence level, a trust. He listens to his players. And the players trust the process as well. His emotional intelligence is by far the best I've ever seen in terms of his reaction and interaction with players. His tactical awareness in game and the way his team set up is phenomenal as well. And I think all round as a coach and as a person, he fits the bill.
Listen, you know what it's like to go from a small club, no disrespect to Reading, but a small club to a massive club like Chelsea. How much of a step up was it for you as a player? How much of a step up will it be for a manager?
Yeah, well, it was huge as a player. I've gone off, yeah, you're right, going from Reading to Chelsea, and straight away it's literally all about winning. And that is what Chelsea is all about. It's all about winning titles, winning games week in, week out. He hasn't got that pressure delivered on his head from the owners at Brighton, although he would demand that on himself to win games week in, week out. So he'll feel the pressure. When you feel the pressure, you might make decisions that you may normally not make in a more comfortable environment. So look, if he does go there, he's going to get tested. He will get tested to the point where he's spinning probably more plates currently than what he's doing. You look at his job at Brighton and it's all aligned at Brighton. You've got Tony Bloom, a fantastic owner, Paul Barber below him, Dan Ashworth when he was there, the recruitment, and that left Potts to really concentrate and just do his coaching and just concentrate on preparing for games. Now he's going to Chelsea where you have to say at the moment it's not aligned. You know, from the owners down, technical directors, football directors, the recruitment, even the academy is a different kettle of fish at Chelsea. That's a business within itself. So there's a lot in the process to achieve and to concentrate on. I think realistically, he just wants to coach and concentrate on the football side element, and then get other people in and amongst him to help him along the way.
Sid, as you said it there about the coaching, do you think that's what's maybe a bonus for him, is that he's not got to worry about no transfer windows? We've just closed the transfer. The next one's in January. All he's got to focus on between now, and he's got the World Cup, of course, as well, is just focusing on coaching these players. Do you think that not makes the job easier, but that's perfect for him going in there and just concentrating on maybe on one thing?
Yeah, I think when he goes into an environment, like any manager, you're going into a dressing room that's a little bit broken, and that looks like what it is at Chelsea at the moment. You look at some of the players; they just look, even if it's some of them that are just 5% off the mark. Someone like Mason Mount, you know, it's just for some reason it's just not working for him at the moment. In terms of goals and assists, he will go in there, and like I said, the emotional intelligence that he's got in terms of coaching wise, but also that little arm around the shoulder, that walk from the training ground out to the pitches, the little sort of the little nugget, the golden nuggets, the little sprinkles that he just drops. He just picks players up. I spoke to Adam Lallana and Welbeck the other day after the Leicester game. They raved about him. They just said literally their workloads, trust the process. You know, the days off. It just picks players up. It makes the players trust in the manager. And when you're confident as a player, you feel like you can go out and do anything.
Absolutely. And you spoke about a couple of them there. One of them, certainly, Danny Welbeck. He seems the man rejuvenated this season. He had nil more pay. Maybe didn't find the net as much as he would have liked. Do you think he can be the one to get Aubameyang firing? Because they've bought him in for £10 million. You know, his record is prolific. Do you think Graham Potter could get him going?
Yeah, I do. You know, if anyone can, I think it can be Graham Potter. It was a strange one for me, the Aubameyang signing. I weren't sure on that when it come about. I know they was desperate for a number 9 and a striker. They needed to get one in realistically, but it didn't tick the box. If anyone can get him firing, it can be him, so someone to give him confidence and the sessions to do so. But look, we're saying this as though Graham Potter, he's got the job at the moment. It wouldn't surprise me if he goes there and for whatever reason, if there's one element of doubt that he doesn't take the job and he stays at Brighton.
Let me talk to you about recruitment, because at the moment, you know, with Brighton, they know a bargain when they see one for a number of reasons. The main one being, of course, they don't have the spending power that Chelsea do. And we've seen what Chelsea can do in the last transfer window, spent just under £300 million. How different will that be for a manager that sometimes isn't allowed to spend crazy money and has to do with what he's been given? And sometimes it's a bargain, sometimes it's not. And then go into a club where if he wants to pay £80 million for a centre-half, he can.
Well, that's going to be the difference between what he's never had as in all of his previous jobs. But I think if he goes into this dressing room, he's got an array of talent from goalkeeper all the way through, and even in the academy. And like Bentley said, he hasn't got a window to worry about. You know, that I even think, even when it comes to January, does he really need to get anyone in? You know, there's some top quality players there. If players leave, he can then get players in, but he'll just concentrate on what he's got to work with. You know, the one thing's for sure, if he does go in there, the lad's going to enjoy his training sessions. He's got a spark, he's got a spring in his step, and he'll definitely have that bounce back effect for the immediate.
Oh, Steve, you there?
Yep, sorry.
No, I thought we dropped for a moment. Let me just ask you, there's certain clubs in the Premier League. Chelsea, obviously, one of them. Man United, Man City. Liverpool, obviously, being another one. I wouldn't put Arsenal in the bracket yet, and Bentley's looking at me like I'm mad, but you'll understand why. That when they bring in a new manager, the expectation levels are so high that they need to win the Premier League and or the Champions League. Do you think that Graham Potter is the manager to win either of those or both for Chelsea in the next 3 years, 4 years?
Yes. My answer to that would be yes. If you're saying the next 3 to 4 years, then yes. This year is out of the question. I think Man City run away with it. I think given time, I remember when I spoke to Benty, I think I even said it before when I was on Bentley's Boot Room show about Graham Potter being the next England manager or even managing the next top 6. That was only going to be a matter of time. People are saying he hasn't got experience and he hasn't worked in Europe. Well, he's going to need a shot at some point, and have come a little bit quicker than what he would imagine. Maybe people are saying the end of this season or next season would have been his chance. But if he takes it now, with the quality of players that he's got, with the work that I've seen him do, for sure he can bring silverware to top clubs.
Okay. Listen, Steve, thanks for coming on. I noticed there's a shirt. I can't work out what one it is. A shirt over your right shoulder. Is that nailed on the wall properly? I don't want that slipping. Whose shirt is it?
There's a few there. There's Gerard Fabregas.
That'll be the one, Gerard. Yeah, okay.
Goals one if you want it. Goldstein, you love United, don't you?
Which one have you got for United?
Scholes.
Oh yeah, I'll bite your arm off for that one. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, well, I mean, it's YouTube. You can't physically give it to me now, can you? It's not like Willy Wonka. It looks lovely. We're talking over each other, so we're cutting each other off. Oh, you're going to get it. You've got to actually pick it up. He's picking it up now. This doesn't work on telly, but it does on YouTube. And there he goes. He's picking up the Paul Scholes shirt. Wow, that looks amazing. That's fantastic.
Not bad.
Yeah, stick it in the post. I'll pick it up next week.
No problem. All yours.
All right. What are you doing nowadays, by the way, Steve? What are you up to?
Just concentrate on the media stuff now. I've given myself a break from the coaching. I've done 3 years at the academy at Brighton, which I loved. I enjoyed, but I think I didn't have the rest when I retired. I was scared to. People just said to me, "Make sure you're busy. Make sure you've got a structure. Make sure you've got a routine." And I think I went too busy too early, so I didn't have the break with the family. So I've had that this year. I've been doing the media stuff, which I've loved. But this season, I'm going to go in, and now it's easier, more COVID friendly to go in and into training grounds and speak to managers and maybe get myself back out there and get on the training pitch.
Well, listen, if you have time, in recent weeks on a Wednesday, we've had Ben Foster's come in, Jack Wilshire's come in. We'd love for you to come in the studio maybe on a Wednesday or any day that suits you, and we'll have a proper chat with you.
Love to.
All right.
100%.
That'd be
Love
great.
that.
And, of course, bring the Skulls top in as well when you come. Steve, a real pleasure. Thank you so much
Cheers,
for your
Sidders.
time. We'll speak to you in a
Top
bit.
man.
Cheers, fellas.
There you go, the wonderful Steve Sidwell. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're not, you would have missed all that. So you can, of course, watch and listen to the show on YouTube. It's all live, and you see Steve Sidwell in his loft picking up. He's got many a shirt behind him. You don't do that at your house, do you? You haven't got player shirts all
in the
framed
gym.
up.
Quite a few in the gym.
Oh, you have got that, have
In
you?
the gym, yeah.
Oh, okay. Who have you got? What big names have you got?
Thierry, of course. Didier.
Don't know why I asked.
Didier, Alan Shearer,
Have you got
Andy
Didier?
Cole. Yeah,
Oh, wow, you got all the big hitters then.
big hitters.
Any United boys? Cole, Andy Cole. Is that a Newcastle or United one?
That's no. So do you know what it is? A City one.
Why have you got that?
Because they give it to me when I played against him.
Be ashamed of yourself. You got any Man United
Rio,
boys up there?
Rio.
You got Rio's up there. Good. We are taking your calls on all things Chelsea. 0371722 3344. Dial that number. You'll be next on Drive on talkSPORT.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.